Hey everyone, it's Trombone here coming at you with another installment of, I don't know what to call it yet. It's less of a vlog though, and more of a mini podcast, I guess, where I just talk about things that I see in bronze and all over the place, which made me feel like it was more vloggy to begin with, but it's definitely kind of got that feel of a podcast. So that's what's going on. Declan, I'm sorry, music's not going to be in this video. It's going to be in This Week in Bronze. There's a whole list of issues with that one. Me issues, not video issues, me issues. But it's coming. Your music will be in there. I apologize. Moving on, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Not really, five things. And the first one's pretty short. SKT is in form again. They reverse sweeped KT, and it looked clean as hell. Like they got demolished, came out of nowhere, and just swept the floor with KT. It's insane. Faker is playing out of his mind, and I know that's something that people say all the time, but it's true. This man is always playing out of his mind. There's not another way to describe it. He's insane. He's the best player to ever play this game. To this point. I mean, hopefully there's someone that can play it better. But the fact that Faker is the best right now means if anyone comes close in the future, they're always going to be compared to Faker. And that's something incredible all on its own. That he's been able to be the centerpiece of SKT, lead them to so many victories, turn it on in the playoffs, win against Afrika, someone that they've had a lot of trouble with during the regular season, come through, make Samsung look easy, and then, drop a couple games to KT, and then just sweep the floor with them too. It's insane what these guys are doing. It's really cool. It's a really cool thing to see. So I just wanted to touch on that. Longzhu against SKT should be coming up here pretty quickly. I don't know the exact date on that. All I know is that I go to bed right around the time that LCK starts, and I managed to catch it. So that's pretty darn cool. I just wanted to talk about that. I guess as a side note to that, because we don't have any topics, what SKT in Worlds is going to mean when they're playing like this. I talked before about NA's chances at Worlds not looking very good, and they look much worse seeing as how SKT is playing right now. They're playing much like last season around this time. They're going to dominate. I don't really doubt that they won't make finals again this year. Hopefully they don't win, because again, the fact that one team can go and be so dominant over so many years just gets boring. I mean, in League especially, a new up-and-coming esport, it's still on its way. There's a lot of growth that needs to be had. So to have a team that goes and wins consistently every year, wins it all, it gets boring. It's not as established as football. You can't have the New England Patriots in League right now. So it's going to make it boring. You're going to lose viewers, and that's sad. Not saying that SKT doesn't deserve the credit that they're getting and deserve the wins that they're getting. Just as a viewer and as someone that wants to see this succeed further, we need to see someone step it up. Because it's going to be really sad if nobody does. Moving on to the biggin. Patch 7.17, or as the rest of the world says, 7.17, because that's how you should say it. Anyway, I want to talk about two things with this, because there's a lot of small changes, not a lot of difference being had. Everything that I had talked about in the patch notes, reading, and thanks guys, by the way, 38 views. That's my most viewed video, and it got the most views in 22 hours. That's incredible, and I just want to thank you But there are some things that I definitely read wrong. Second one that I want to talk about is Ornn, and I never really told you where I felt as far as Ornn was concerned, but I did feel like he's going to be a lot more tuned to the game right now than what he actually is. But Leona, she's a beast right now. She's a really good support. I don't think she's quite Thresh level yet for as far as Ardent Sensor supports, non-Ardent Sensor supports, because Thresh would definitely take that role. But Leona is a close second. She's incredible. The engage that she has to offer, just the cooldown that they gave her stun is so much more impactful than I ever anticipated, at least down here in Bronze. I don't know how it's going, up in those upper elos. Leona, crazy right now. If you used to play her, give her a shot. She's a lot of fun. That mark, you gotta execute on it, but if you can, she's insane. It's really fun. She's a lot more overpowered. Not overpowered, but she's over the power that I thought she was gonna be. So yeah, Leona, check her out. Ornn, a whole different story. This guy is shit. Maybe not that far, but he's really bad. He has that Ivern feel to him, where he could be good in very specific circumstances, but you don't want to play him. People are playing because he's new, not because of what he offers to their team, not because they think he's strong. They're just playing him because he's new. I see a very Ivern-like effect hitting all elos. I mean, I know Ivern has spikes every now and again in higher elos, but in Bronze he doesn't. And I don't expect to see Ornn in any elo. I mean, he was doing so poorly that Riot hotfix buffed him. They buffed his health growth, his health regen, his attack speed, and there was one more thing. I don't know, but then they also advised everyone not to rush his item upgrades, and that's important. There's some that you might want to do. For example, IE is the only one that I can really think of. If you're super ahead and you're building like a Tristana, you want to go for the Infinity Edge Berserker's Greaves start, and you want that attack speed, you want to be ready to fight. An extra 30 AD for 1,000 gold is very well worth it. That's very relevant in the now. It scales well with Tristana, what she wants to do, and it builds into her power spike, so I don't see why not. Other things, though, they're not as relevant. An extra 10% cooldown on Black Cleaver, you can probably leave that one out for a while. You're going to build other things that are going to get you the cooldown, more than likely. I mean, for Pete's sake, just buy Lucidity Boots. Spend the extra 600. Don't spend 400 more than you need to and bring your power spikes down. That's all it's all about. You want to put yourself on the same power spikes as your opponent. So don't go crazy with it. But Ornn, underpowered. His kit is very streamlined. It's very unique. It's meant to do very specific things. He's a CC bot. That's what he's supposed to do, but he doesn't quite fit into the support role because he doesn't make enough gold to make what makes him powerful. He needs to be in the top lane, and it's really hard to get a CC bot going in the top lane. Maybe jungle, I thought, but I'm dumb, and I don't expect that to go anywhere too far. I might try like a game or two with him in jungle, but I'm a bad jungler, and an off-meta jungler for a bad jungler is bad. I'm sorry to whoever ends up in those norms games with me, because that's going to be painful. Ornn, underpowered. It's kind of nice to see that Riot's releasing champions that are at the power level, or maybe even a little under, because then they're not a must ban. They don't draw bans. They don't affect ranked for the first 2 weeks like every other champion does, or even beyond that sometimes, with waiting for them to get nerfed. So you don't have to ban him. He's not wasting a ban slot. You just have to know how to play around him. And that's really nice. I like that. Although it does feel bad to play as Ornn right now. Anyway, moving on to NA playoffs. Some cool stuff going on there. CLG beat Envy and gave me a goddamn heart attack again. 5 games, all five. Yeah, why waste a game here, there? Let's just bring it to all 5 games and bring it down to the last few minutes of the 5th game. CLG got to stop doing this to me, man. It hurts. It hurts. Anyway, new jungler. I've seen a lot of things criticizing OhmyGod, and yeah, he deserves criticism. But flaming him, I think, is a little too far, because he is still a rookie. I mean, yeah, obviously, he's in playoffs. He has higher expectations. He has higher expectations than some rookies need to have because he's in the playoffs. I mean, if you want to look at traditional sports, Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott had very high expectations going into playoffs, but they were performing at a level that they could have those placed upon them. OhmyGod, not so much. He didn't have a level of play that elicited the expectations that were given to him for playoffs. Obviously, CLG wants to go to Worlds. That's very important to them. It's going to be very hard to do with a rookie jungler, especially one that you're manipulating so clearly, someone that wants to be a part of this team atmosphere that you've set up. I've changed the topic. I like this topic better. It's going to be OhmyGod and expectations of rookies. But him being a rookie, him not performing up to a Mike Young level. When Mike Young came onto the scene, he changed P1. Visibly changed P1. He had a play style and he wanted people to play with that play style. OhmyGod came in, he wanted to fit the CLG mentality. He wanted to be a part of a team. That's what CLG wants. That's what he wants. They're very aligned in what they want and how they want to play. However, he doesn't have a outlet to perform to the best of his ability because he's so busy trying to learn what CLG wants him to be. It's kind of a Biofrost situation. Obviously, Biofrost's been there, done that, but you kind of see how he struggled with Wild Turtle because he was built for Doublelift in the pros. He was very willing to be a part of that team, willing to be a part of that atmosphere, but when you took away what they built him for at that level, he struggled. The same thing goes for OhmyGod, except he hasn't really been molded into anything yet. So he's struggling because you didn't give him an identity. He didn't come in with an identity and then you changed it. He came in with nothing and you still have to build that. And you have to build it quickly if you want to win CLG. I'm just saying. But laying expectations on someone that's trying to be what other people want him to be at this moment, it's a little unwarranted. Maybe look at the staff, say, hey, let him play with his identity, see how far it gets you. Obviously teach him the finer points of the game, but don't dictate him to a micromanagement level because he's not going to succeed in that atmosphere. It's already high pressure. You're adding stakes. It's not going to go well. So yeah, that's not NA playoffs. CLG is probably going to lose to Immortals on that note. Smithy's just popping off. Ole popping off. Cody's son popping off because of Ole. Also doing pretty well on his own, but Ole's really bringing him to another level. 6A Aframu looking kind of shaky in that Envy series. Don't think that's going to go very far. Dig TSM going to be hype as fuck. Did not expect Dig to win against Cloud9. I was like, Cloud9 probably has it. Everyone was telling me Cloud9 probably has it. I believed it. They were performing really well. Obviously they were playing weaker opponents, and Dig has also been playing very well, but I felt like C9 had that edge because they've been in the playoffs before, and that's what we've all been told brings a level to a team. And for traditional sports and other regions and other teams, it does. Not so much in this instance, So C9 lost. Dig was the better team. GG to Dig, and I'm really excited to see your series against TSM. It's going to look really cool. Anyway, that's more up in the air, I feel like, than people give credit to Dig for. Everyone's like just writing them off as a TSM win, kind of like they did against Cloud9, which, I mean, all the power to them. If that's what gives them strength, that's what gives them strength. So that's the NA playoffs and a long tangent about expectations for rookies. I'm going to skip why I hate Earth, because this has gone on long enough, and I can just pretty plainly say I hate Earth. That's it. That's it. I can't pick my champions. I feel less in control of my loss. I don't feel like there's much I can improve on because I didn't get to choose that champion. Maybe that's really dumb. Maybe that's really like behind, and maybe that's my bronze coming out. But I feel like because I didn't choose the champion, I can't improve to the level that I could have if I would have picked it. I don't have that same level of responsibility. Like, it is my fault if I would have picked that champion. So I hate Earth. That's pretty short, sweet, to the point. Anyway, practice in bot games with a question mark, because obviously that's really important. So I've always been getting, why don't you practice that in bot games? Or people are underperforming, play it in bot games. Why? There is a level that you can get to in bot games. You can get a general feel for a champion in bot games. And that's good. That's good practice. That's what you want to do. But there gets to a point where you're in a bot game and you're just wrecking people because it's bots. I mean, who cares? But like, you just feel really confident on this champion you have. And when you feel that confidence, I feel like you have enough comfort with those champions to be able to take them into a normal game, period. You're comfortable enough where you can start learning and mastering the champions. When you're comfortable with it, that's fine. Then it's time to start mastering. And yeah, you're going to flounder. People on your team are going to flounder. We're still in bronze. Chances are most of us are pretty new. I just got all the champions, and truth be told, I spent way too much real ass money getting them. I still have ones that I haven't touched. And I mean, so we're new. Some of us have been playing this game for 2 years. It's not enough time, especially when you find different roles and things that you really like, Jhin and Blitzcrank and Xayah, to find all the champions and find time to get a general comfort level with all of them, and then mastery of that comfort. So quit picking on people for playing in bot games, or for not practicing in bot games, because chances are they have a general comfort to the point where that's not going to do them any good anymore. Yeah, there's certain mechanical things that you can work out, but I don't feel like, norms especially, mechanics are on the top of the to-do list for bot games. You shouldn't be mechanically advanced when you step into a bot game. It's practice. I'm sorry for those of you that don't play ranked and that is your competitive edge. You still like winning. Everyone likes winning. Everyone likes winning. But it feels even better to succeed on something you're learning with, because it shows improvement in your learning. It shows that it's going somewhere. And when you fail, you know what you failed on. You know you can more easily point to certain things because you're new to the champion that you didn't do. It's more of an aha moment. You're going to learn a lot from that. And yeah, it sucks to lose in the moment. Queue up for another one. You're probably going to win in the next 3, at least one. So that's my thoughts. I guess I've been seeing a lot of just practice it in a bot game. Just practice it in a bot game. And not just me. I mean, I'm still salty about that Victor from a long time ago. Victor's really hard. I'm sorry. He's a mechanically complex champion. He's going to take time to master. You can't master it in bots. Maybe you can't, but it's still not going to translate as well to norms either way. So I'm salty about that, but I've seen it Especially with a new champion, you see things like this, and it just brings up old memories. So just wanted to talk about that. You know, give people a break. You can learn valuable things in bot games, but most of it's comfort. When you get that, then you learn your mechanics and execution in norms. And if that's your competitive outlet, maybe try ranked. Try a different competitive outlet, because you're going to find people that are trying. And then you can say practice it somewhere else if they've never played it before. That's a completely legitimate response, because it is ranked. Because it's a competitive outlet. Norms, it depends on the player. And find a different competitive outlet or queue up for another one until you win. Because you're going to. It's norms. Anyway, I think that just about wraps it up for me and my odd podcast type thing. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you tuning it in. Again, I apologize, Declan. I'm sorry. I'm working on that this week in Bronze. Thank you all so much. If you liked it, feel free to like it. If you didn't, feel free to dislike it. That's fine. But I like doing this. This is a lot of fun. This is something I'm probably going to do regardless of whether you like it or not, because I have a lot of fun doing this. Just turning on the camera and talking about things that I see going on and things that I have opinions on, and just being able to talk about them. So it's a lot of fun. Feel free to dislike it. Let me know that you don't like it. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to do what I can for you. But I'm still small enough where I can still do this channel for me, and I plan on doing that. I'm sorry, but I appreciate every view, every like. I really do. I really do. Just because I'm doing it for me doesn't mean I don't really appreciate that someone else likes it too. I'm just not going to put as much emphasis into the people that don't like what I'm doing, because it is for me. And if other people like it too, that's fantastic. I'm honestly thrilled. That video got 35 views in 22 hours. I was ecstatic. I was checking my phone every 2 minutes. So every view, every like, I really appreciate it. I honestly mean that. Just because I don't tailor this stuff to the likes and not to the dislikes doesn't mean that I don't appreciate when you appreciate something. And I'm going to try to put out things that you appreciate. What's next? Reading the patch notes. That's something that I see that's very important to you all. That's something I will continue to do. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. Sometimes I don't like watching the patch notes and reading the stupid movement speed buff to TF, but it matters in the game and it matters to you guys. So I'm going to continue to do it. But I'm also going to do stuff like this because it's good for me. It's fun. Thanks. Anyway, so much for watching. I really appreciate it. That was an odd rant. Not one of the talking points, but definitely could have been. Thanks, and until my next video, have a good one.